Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Well, phew, at last the temperatures have dropped here a bit. I'm so relieved. We're heading into autumn and I'm actually really pleased. So I'm back in my craft room and feeling all energetic again, and I've got loads I want to catch up on. So I'm not talking about stitching today, I'm on an arty binge today. We're right in the middle of the Inspired by collab. So this is a little collaboration that I do with some of my friends here on YouTube and Instagram. We get together, about 10 of us, probably about every quarter or so, and we give ourselves a prompt and we create something for that prompt. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a drawing or painting or sculpture. It could be stitching, it could be cake making, flower arranging, it could be a poem, it could be anything at all, as long as it's something creative inspired by the prompt. And this time the prompt is inspired by Halloween. It was Johnny, my friend Johnny of Just Johnny Creations, who came up with that idea, and everybody kind of went, oh yeah, my favourite holiday, let's go with that. So that's what we're doing. We will be revealing our pieces on the 30th of September. You're welcome to join us and create something yourself inspired by this prompt and post it. Either post it on Instagram or on Facebook. You can go in the Artyfortober23 group on Facebook if you like. Please make sure you use the hashtag Inspired by Art Collab. I'm going to put it here. Please put it in full exactly as you see it there. No spaces, no, just put it exactly as you see it there. I know it sounds like I'm really ramming that point home, but you just would be surprised how many times people either don't use it or they don't use it exactly as it just won't get picked up, and we'll miss you. So it'd be a real shame. So you're very welcome to create your own pieces. You can post them any time from now until, say, the middle of October, and at that point I'll round everything up and showcase them all in a video. Always like to do that, just to usually just get so many different ideas from everybody, and it's lovely to see them all together. I will put links to all of my fellow collaborators in the description box below, so you can check all them out as well. And as I say, we'll all be revealing our pieces on the 30th, but you could post yours now. I'm going to get started on that very soon. I have, just to give you a little, I have got this sketchbook which came as part of one of the Scrawler Box combo kits. So I've been saving it for special, and the thing I'm going to do is going to use this entire book. But that's all I'm telling you for now. I've committed myself now. Got to do it now. But it is it's the 13th today, so I've only got a couple of weeks, so I need to get my skates on. And then I just thought I'd have a little bit of a catch up with you, because there's a few other things that I came across while I was digging out that sketchbook, and I thought, oh yeah, I want to get back to doing them. So there's a couple of things I want to tell you about that I've got in the pipeline. But the main thing for this video today is going to be working up some ideas for my Artyfortober pieces. Artyfortober, love this. So everybody's heard of Inktober, and you'll know, if you've done Inktober before, there are always lots of alternative prompt lists going. So some of the lovely people in our Artyfartists Discord community, so it's a free Discord community, anyone can join, link to that will be below as well. Some of them came up with this idea of having an Artyfartober list, which I thought was fantastic, and I said to them, go with it, you know, I haven't got time to have anything to do with it, I'll leave it in your hands. And oh my word, they did the most fabulous job. So this was Tori of Cool Kooky Creatures, Rachel Brereton, so she's Rachel Brereton Art, you might know her from Instagram. She's now got her own YouTube channel, Rachel Brereton YouTube. I'll link all of them below, and you'll know her as Arty in the Discord community if you're in there. And also Claire, so she's Claire96Bell. She's on Instagram and she's in the Discord as Claire96Bell. So the three of them got together, they asked for suggestions from everyone and worked out these amazing lists. They made it look beautiful, and I honestly think, hand on heart, and okay, you might think I'm biased, but I had nothing to do with this. Hand on heart, I just think it's one of the best prompt lists I've ever seen. I love it, really inspiring. Let me show you. Here's our Discord community. If I make that whole screen so you can see it better, there we go. So just to give you a little peek at it, this is what you'll see. This is where everybody's living. Where are we now? We're in the stitchery swap room at the moment. So this is where everyone's posting pictures of their stitcheries as they come in. The general chit chat room is generally the best place to start when you first join up, and everybody will say hello. You can tell everybody who you are and what you like and where you come from if you like. You don't have to. Oh, there's people talking about their cats there. Crazy cat lady has 9 cats. Oh, I'm jealous. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. There's an art swap room as well as a stitch swap room. Oh, that's a nice one. Because all down the left here are all the different rooms you can go in. Members links is where people can post links to their own videos and things like that. Resource and inspirations. Prompts and challenges. This is the one I'm looking for. So somebody's put the Schooltober list there. There's a Witchtober list. What does that say? Drawloween. I missed this one when it came in. There's the Inktober official list. Wasn't too keen on that last year. Zoe and Emily have done how to sort of get started, like tips on how to cope with how to get through Inktober and enjoy it on their YouTube channels. You'll find both of them linked in there because they're fellow collaborators. So here we go. This is the one. So this is the full prompt list. They've also done a light prompt list, which is just every 3rd day. But you could just pick and choose and do 1 or 2 of these prompts, or just pick out your favourites, mix them up with another list. Some people do that, or just pick one, and do whatever you like. We don't care what medium you use for this. I'm gonna do a whole mixture. I'm gonna do some stitching, some drawing, some painting, some doodling. I've got an idea of maybe doing a flick book for one of them. Yeah, I'm just gonna try all sorts. Just to keep, because otherwise I tend to fall by the wayside with Inktober usually. So I'm just going to keep changing it up for myself. And what I want to do today is to do some kind of rough sketched out ideas of some of these. Yeah, what I'm gonna do in a moment is just work through this list and see if I can sketch an idea for each one of these. See how I get on. And if there's any that I think, no, I'm really stuck, I won't bother. Doesn't matter. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you to the desk now and show you what I've got on the desk. Here we go. So I've just dug out this sketchbook to use, and while I was doing it, of course, there were these things as well that made me think, put these up, put them on your desk ready so you don't forget to get into them. So these are going to be upcoming projects on here as well. This is a beautiful book that it's like a board book that's got jelly prints collaged onto it, which was sent to me by the lovely Sue of Susie Q Makes. I'll link her below as well. And she does these, but she left this one for me to do myself and put my own jelly print on. So she kind of upcycles these children's board books, which I think is a brilliant idea. And the idea is that you've got this background you can then doodle or collage onto it or whatever you like. So I need to make myself, not just, I have had this up on a shelf looking at it for a while because I think it looks lovely just like that. But I really need to do something with it now. So that's going to be coming up soon. And then I've had these hanging around for like 2 or 3 years. And you've probably seen this one, but there's all sorts of prompts in here. 1 or 2 I did, and then I sort of wandered off. And some are simple, some are more complicated. Oh, what was that one? Yeah. Oh, I've obviously spent quite a long time on that one. Not my normal colour palette. I don't quite like that. Yeah, it's just something to get going. So I might just do a series of little short videos and just pick one a day and do it. And maybe I'll ask people to leave a comment about which page number they want me to do next. So that's another idea. And then there's this one, which is a bit more, probably need a bit more time to do these, I think. Add some plants to the vegetable patch. Quite fun. Trash overflowing. I think I might do some collage and things in this one. I think would work well. Yeah, you can see by the prompts, they're quite, some of them are like, see, that's quite straightforward, add your favourite toppings, but some of them are more kind of conceptual, you know. Somebody was obviously trying to encourage the child who had this book to get creative, and they weren't up for it. Now I think they'd just written the word colour lots of times on here, spelt the American way, and I've painted over that. I can feel that I've painted over it. That's there, that was printed on it, and I've painted this bit as a kind of a start. Draw this line's raw. That's what I mean by kind of more of a kind of concept, really. Or yeah, because you can't see a raw, can you? So yeah, some of them are going to be quite thoughtful and quite, you know, make me think a little bit harder. Some are going to be more straightforward. And then I quite like this, how, you know, creating your own hand-drawn typefaces. Lots of inspiration in there. So I'd like to get into doing that as well. So those are a few things I've got kind of coming up, but I'm going to stop waffling now because I've already been too long, and and start sketching out my ideas. Now I've got my little well. It's getting littler and littler. Back wing pencil. And I've got this old sketchbook I came across. Now it was only £1 in the works, but it's fine. The last time I had this out, I took it on holiday. I was going to do some sketching while I was on holiday, and I haven't picked it up since. But I was looking through it, well, blast from the past, looking at old sketchbooks. So this was when I was trying to do this, I forgot what they call it, like a contour drawing, where you're not supposed to look at the paper. You sort of put your hand down and you kind of feel around your face and draw it as you go, and you just keep the pencil or pen constantly on the paper. So that was that was me. That was a selfie in 2019. That was before I was doing YouTube, before we moved here. Yeah. And that was another go. Blind selfie, that's what we would call it. Blind selfie. I must have been doing some course or something, and that was part of it. You can kind of see I did have short hair at the time. Not sure where it came from, but I often have pictures of houses. I like these whimsical houses and things. I often have pictures like that in my head, so I probably sat and doodled that. Now this, I think this was some kind of, it must have been some prompt thing I was following, because they're all colours. So this was True Blue, 1st of May 2019, True Blue. This was Red Hot, 2nd of May. So it's something I was doing a whole week. I quite like that now. Don't often practice my drawing skills like this, you know, and I really should. Mellow Yellow, obviously, but for some reason wasn't terribly enthused by that one. 3rd of May, but I'm doing it every day, so I've just written Artyfartober23 there. Probably I was trying out the brush pens. Oh, this one's, oh, you see, I should try my drawing more often. Black Sheep, so it's all colours, isn't it? 4th of May, Shrinking Violet. 5th of May. And then I've abandoned that, whatever that was. And it's Tuesday the 14th of May. And I had this idea I'd seen this idea online, of just drawing a little visual journal for each day. And I actually, looking at this again now, I actually really like the look of that. So much that to me it looks like someone else has done it. I can see it's me, it's my writing. Lunch with Tom, glass of wine. So I think it was like, was it like a happiness journal or something? Just draw the things that made you happy today, even the small things. So seeing forget-me-nots, green leaves, bird song, rhubarb in a veg box, coffee at home, sunshiny day, blogging. I was blogging then rather than YouTubing. Working in my art journal. Glass of wine. DH was that was kind of blogging shorthand for your husband. DH, dear husband, I suppose. No op. Not sure what that is. Maybe I got news that I didn't have to have another operation or something. I can't remember. I remember that. I won't go into that. So 15th of May. So that was the, yeah. At this point, I'm doing it every day. So you always start off well. Leafy green. Smiley bus driver. Made a nice change. Watching the birds building nests. Early morning coffee. This would have been a typical day going into work. Hopping bunnies. Yeah, I would have seen bunnies on the way home from work. Sweeties would have been on the goodie shelf at work. Yummy lunch. Gin and tonic in the evening. Sunshiny day. So you can see there, all dal and rice for dinner. Bats by twilight, I'm still doing that. Hedgehogs in the moonlight. Oh, the iPad always made me happy. Goodness knows what this is, but I've written the words caring, creative and fun. So I was probably being prompted to think of three nice words about myself, which I always find quite difficult to do. But I do think I am quite caring. I think I'm creative, even if it doesn't always work out. And I do know how to have fun. I can be fun. So it's very difficult to say nice things about yourself, though. It shouldn't be, but it is. 17th of May, I'm still going. Very happy bus driver. Daisies in the lawn. Singing at work. I wonder why they were singing. Sometimes they used to have piano plays in the big atrium in the entrance to the hospital. Piano plays and choirs and things. Do your ears hang low? That was a song my husband was singing me. Do your ears hang low? Can you tie 'em in a bow? I can't remember the rest of it now. It was funny. If you type in the words "do your ears hang low" on Google, you'll probably get the rest of the lyrics. Do your ears hang low? Can you tie 'em in a bow? Tomato and basil soup for lunch. GOT, how will it end? Game of Thrones. We were watching Game of Thrones then. Wanderlust Day. Yeah, I was doing a Wanderlust. That's one of those art journaling courses, mixed media courses. Home for the weekend. Yeah, that was our little door. And I put a heart on the door. We didn't really have a heart on the door. Silver Moki, that was the wine we were drinking at the time. Haven't had that for a while. And then you can see that I've carried on sketching, but I've run out of time to colour, and I've probably sort of come back to it, but I didn't. This is the beginning of the end, really, but it makes me think I'd like to pick this up again. So this is the last week of May. So I'm doing a whole week now, not a day. Pencil Kings class, Mission Impossible. That was the squirrel on the bird feeder. The lengths they went to get to that feeder. Sandal Days, Pretty Toes. Oh, Art Bundle for Good, what a bargain. Things to come. The squirrels feeding. Strawberries and avocado time. Making rhubarb gin. Putting water out for squirrels, birds and hedgehogs. The Pillars of the Earth must be what I was reading at the time. And bath time, a bird in the bath. And then this is when we went to Oxford. So I've put a ticket here, admit to Oxford. I have my Kindle. My Kindle goes everywhere with me. These are my little earbuds listening to Dancing Through the Decades playlist on the train. Sunshine, a beautiful arched window that we saw in all different shades of green. The Bodleian Library, that shows the books all chained up. We tried Sri Lankan street food, and there were these hoppers, they were called, these bowls, edible bowl things. Walking tours, the park next to where we stayed. Oh, it's just, yeah, adding up what we were spending on things. Rock the Kasper, it's a place we went to. Lovely breakfast. I mean, this is reminding me of things I'd forgot. This is a beautiful top, silk top that I bought, real bargain, and I've still got it. It's one of my favourite tops. Fig and vanilla, some kind of fig and vanilla cocktail there. Notice how often drawings of alcohol are here at the end of the day. Coffee at the top. And that I've penciled in but not even inked. We went to this place called Quad, which was quite expensive but very nice. Well, obviously we've had carpaccio, scallop gratin, rabbit and pork ragu. I didn't have all of this. This had been both of us. The cloisters at Magdalen College, which looks like Magdalen, but you say Magdalen. A fallow deer at Magdalen. Oh, yeah. I remember all that now. I can't remember what Tyrolean roulette was, though. But yeah, so it's really made me think I need to get back to doing this, because this has been lovely, just looking back and thinking, oh, yeah, I remember that. I must do it again. And I think that looks really pretty. So I've promised myself I'm going to do that again. So right now, I'm going to start looking at this. Oh, look, there was a bit more. Oh, yeah, this is an art gallery. Natural History Museum. Pitt Rivers, yeah. And this is me trying to draw some kind of a perspective drawing of the main room of the Airbnb we stayed in, and I couldn't do it. But once I finish going through my little lessons with Tom, I'll be able to do a really good job of things like that. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing that again. Right now I'm going to use this sketchbook for working up some ideas for the Artyfartober list, which I now need to find again. An idea for this one. So this is Light in the Darkness. So I think what I'm going to do for this one, this will be a on paper piece. They're not all going to be on paper. I think I'm going to kind of ink a background, use my distress inks and kind of ink a background that looks like, so it's dark at the sides and light in the middle. And then I'm going to write the words of a Gandhi quote. So let me find that quote. I can write that down here, can't I? Even a single lamp dispels the deepest darkness. And I shall just write it on here in some sort of fancy writing, or maybe get some inspiration from that font, that handwriting font book. But I'll just write the quote here. To me, yeah, I think that would be a really nice thing to start off my book, because I will end up with some kind of a sketchbook for my Artyfartober, but not everything I'm going to make will go into a sketchbook, but this would be a nice little first thing, I think. Yeah, so that's that. So number 2, a giraffe having a laugh. I ought to jot down what I think I'm going to do here. So inked, I'm going to put inked background. Let's just do that a bit. Yeah, this one, I think I'm going to do collage for this one. Because I quite fancy the idea of, so I'll probably find a picture of a giraffe or draw a picture of a giraffe and just put some sort of weirdly smiling mouth on it or something. So they have these funny little things, don't they, and then these little ears. And I'll probably give it some kind of weird eyes as well. I like doing weird eyes. And then just collage I'll cut out a huge mouth from somewhere. Something like that. I know that looks stupid, but it's enough to remind me what I've got in mind. Yeah, the giraffe having a laugh. So that's 2 days sorted. Whimsical cat. Now I'm thinking I quite fancy doing something stitched for this one. I loved the stitched cats that Susie Q did for some of her stitched squares, and Kate Woolwork as well did stitched cats, didn't she? I really quite fancy that, so I think maybe or I might look at some of those. A lot of people in our Discord have been showing they've been following Terry. Was it Terry Ruskin? It's this book they've been getting. They've all been getting this book that shows you how to do these amazing whimsical cats in watercolours and stuff. And I just love the style of them. So I might just do a simple shape, just do a stitched piece. It might even be that I can put all these pieces, even when they're stitched and collaged, they can all still go into the same book, which would be quite fun. Stitched. And of course you can stitch into paper and things as well. I've got some of that origami paper that I did as well. I'd quite like to use some of that. Not for this one, but I think in the whole thing. I'm going to put here stitched collage. Tori's been showing a lot of different kinds of stitched collage pieces recently, or mixture of art and stitching. Yeah, I might take inspiration from some of those as well. Number 4, sunflowers. One of my favourite things. One of the lovely things that the girls did when they put this list together is they've made it so personal. I think they could, most of them, except for the portrait of Annie and portrait of Tom might be a bit more of a struggle, but most of them would appeal to anyone, even if you're not part of our little community. But I think they've been very mindful about things that are specific to our community, and I don't know if you remembered that sunflowers are a huge favourite of mine, huge favourite. I'm thinking it sounds a bit ambitious, but I'm wondering about seeing if I can be a bit inspired by Van Gogh's sunflowers. Just wondering about using pastels or something. I mean, I'm only going to be working small, so sunflowers have a huge significance to me. We had loads of them in the garden the year when we got married, kind of in the grounds of the place where we lived. We had a little rented cottage and they let us use the grounds, and we had all sunflowers in our garden. I'm just thinking a little I think some kind of either pastels or painting there. Maybe gouache there. I think maybe pastels would be the easiest way to get kind of the look of. I'll put Van Gogh inspired. Okay, 5 out of this world. Are they thinking of our Zoe there? Because she loves her space scenes and stuff. I'd like to do a Zoe inspired space scene there. So I'm just going to just sort of do this just to remind myself. So he does these amazing kind of galaxy scenes, and then she goes back in afterwards and does these lovely kind of constellations, or sometimes she'll put leaves over them like this. Again, Zoe's channel will already be in the description box because she's one of the Inspired by collaborators, so do check her out. If I'm just going to do that just to remind me that that's kind of what I want to do, is do this beautiful gold pen work that she does. It won't necessarily be leaves. Sometimes she does constellations. I could do anything. I could do writing over it. I don't know, but I love the look of the kind of space scene with a planet or two, and then some gold or other metallic pen work over it, or maybe white pen work over it, and the stars, and yeah. I'm going to call it Spacescape. Inspired by Zoe. I'm 6, doing well, aren't I? Oh, alternate universe. Oh, I'm actually a bit stumped for that one. I could think about something like Flatland. If you've ever read a book called, if you haven't read a book called Flatland and you're fascinated by unusual ways of looking at the world. Yeah, Flatland. Fascinating. Doesn't take very long to read, but it really gets into your head and makes you think, maybe I could do something about Flatland. Other than that, I'm a bit stumped with that at the moment, so I'm going to move on. I'm not going to get bogged down. That's one of my biggest tips about Inktober and getting through it, is don't let yourself get bogged down. Number 7 is Portrait of Annie. Well, that's going to be some kind of a self-portrait. I could try doing a blind contour again, a blind selfie. I think I'll carry on thinking about that one. It's an interesting exercise doing a self-portrait, and I haven't done one for a while. So number 8 is churches. Norwich, where I live, is well known for having an enormous number of churches. I think it used to be, they used to say there was a pub for every day of the year and a church for every week of the year. One thing that I love about churches is I could use it to try out my perspective drawing and actually go and I've got plenty of churches to draw. I'm not particularly inspired to draw the buildings, but I love the windows. And that sketch that I showed earlier on, when we were in Oxford, we saw lots and lots of beautiful stained glass windows. But the one that I remember, and I still remember it now, it wasn't all the different colours and things. It wasn't a kind of a scene with people on it or anything like that, and religious kind of imagery. It was huge, and it was just a mass of tiny panes, and maybe they were diamondy rather than this way, but tiny panes, and it just caught the light as we saw it. It was just catching the sun, and it was twinkling, and it was all different shades of green, and yeah, the image of it was very striking and has stayed in my head ever since. So I'm just going to put stained glass. Now, I might choose to represent that in a different way. I might, if I'm working in a sketchbook, I might cut through and make it three-dimensional. I could even try making a cutout with acetate and do the different colours, something like that. Just do something really, 3D cutout. That will be enough to remind me. See, if I keep giving myself something really different to do each day like this, I won't get kind of bored and wander off. Or bogged down. I could just get stuck. You get to the end. I think otherwise I tend to find I either get bored or I burn out. I just need to keep my mind stimulated with different kinds of approaches, really. I'm hoping that will work for me. Number 9 is the dark side. Nothing's immediately coming to me, so I might do another stitching for this. I like stitching little birds. Oops. I'm just going to do this just to remind myself. Hopefully it'll look a bit better than that, but I think stitching again for that. 11, under the microscope. Oh, love that. I think I just want to do, I'm going to look at some I think the COVID-19 virus was fascinating to look at. I did think about trying to crochet them or something like that. In fact, I could still do that. Ooh, yeah, I'm just going to put here. I'll do an amigurumi. I always get that word, amigurumi, I think. Crocheted viruses and bacteria, etc. Or blood cells, and they could be little charms. I could turn them into little charms to hang off the edge of the book that I'm working in. I could try and aim to get most of it in the book, but okay. 12. Now they've put Hobbit in. I suspect because it's become well known in the Discord community that Tom calls me the Hobbit, and now several other people in the Discord community also refer to me as the Hobbit. It's nothing to do with me being short or having hairy toes. But I do love the book, the Hobbit, and the book, the Lord of the Rings book, was the first proper book I was given as a kid. I loved the stories when I was a kid. It's very much in my psyche now. So I think probably I'm just going to want to paint something for that, I think. There's a thing coming up. Tom found there's a Hobbit food day or something. We saw this whole Hobbit menu. In fact, now I'm wondering rather than because I have recently painted my idea of a Hobbit. I wonder whether let's put Hobbit food. Hobbit. I'm going to put Hobbit menu because it's still inspired by the word Hobbit. And I might just write and illustrate a menu based on this day that I know we've got coming up. I put query Hobbit food day to remind myself. I need to remind myself that they're gonna be turned into charms. I can even make jewellery, anything. It doesn't matter, does it? You know. Right, what have we got next? Mushrooms. Oh, well, I just think mushrooms are so beautiful. I don't know, it's going to be the wrong time. Well, it might be exactly the right time of year. If I can find any shaggy ink cap mushrooms, I might find I could paint with some mushroom ink. I've done that before. It's amazing. You get this lovely deep kind of sepia tones. But that relies upon me being able to find some shaggy ink cap mushrooms at the right time. I didn't find it kept very well. It went mouldy quite quickly. It was like the pieces that I painted with it are still fine. I've kept them in the dark, but otherwise it'd probably fade. But I think mushrooms, I just want to do a little study of some actual mushrooms. I might make it a little bit 3D or do a little bit of a collage to give it some more interest. I don't know, I might just make it a sweet little watercolour painting. I'm going to put that for now because I haven't done any of that on here yet. And then I think the last one, so this is 13. I think the last one I'm going to look at today, because I don't want to drag on too long, is this. Now I've just realised the theme for this one is space. So I kind of did space really for the Out of This World prompt, didn't I? So I'll have to think again for space, but I could do aliens. Or maybe I could do the space thing, the Zoe inspired space thing, and for Out of This World I could do the aliens. Yep, okay, so let's change that. So Zoe inspired. So that's going to be the, like I did just now with the pretty patterns over the top in the gold and everything. This looks like a scribble, but it would be enough to remind me. And then so for this Out of This World one, which was number 5, I'm going to do some cute aliens instead. I don't know what they'll look like, but yeah, some kind of aliens, and maybe do that in something nice and bright, something like that, like a gouache or something, maybe for that. I'm going to leave that there now and come back and do the other half another day. Yeah, so I want to do some drawing, do some painting, use all my different media that I have at my disposal, because I've got so many to use. I want to try everything, do a bit of everything, see if I can mainly kind of keep it in a book, but it's going to be a chunky book. And if I do things like crochet and some viruses, I can turn them into little charms and hang them off the spine of the book. That'd be really fun. I'd really like to put a little bit of work in, a little bit of pop-up. Actually, I'm just wondering whether to add pop-up element to, yes, we're going to do that, to the aliens one. That'd be, yeah, just a little bit of a pop-up surprise here and there. It's always quite fun. I'd like to work in a flick book, and actually to try and keep it all within the same book, maybe I could just do a little flicked animation in the corner of the pages. I need to give that some thought as I go along. So that, I just wanted to let you know kind of where I'm thinking, and just let you know where to find the prompt list as well, if you'd like to join in with Artyfartober. So if you would like to do, post your pictures in all the normal places anyway, but if you want us to try and see them, please use the hashtag that girls came up with, which was, I need to check, ArtyFartober23. I'll put it here for you, ArtyFartober23. And so you can post that in the if you post it in the Discord, just put it in the Art Show and Tell. You don't need to use a hashtag in Discord, but if you post it on Facebook or Instagram, please use the hashtag so that we can see, because we'd love to see. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think it's a wonderful prompt list. I honestly think it's one of the best ones I've seen, and it looks so pretty and everything. And the light list that they've worked out as well. I didn't show you that, did I? Let me show you the light list. So they've just picked out one, every 3 days. And you could easily, any of these could be adapted to be stitched if you're more into stitching than art, definitely. I'm going to, yeah, as I say, I'm going to work in a bit of crochet and everything. I just think you can do so many things with this. I'd like to do a little bit of something with perhaps polymer clay or whatever as well. Maybe that could be something I put on the front of the book. That might be the Happy Halloween, that final prompt could perhaps be something that goes on the front. That's what I'm thinking. It'd be lovely if some of you join in with us. I think it'd be really exciting. It's always, Inktober is always a great time to get you sort of into the habit of doing something creative every day, which is always good. But you do have to be mindful that you can easily burn out if you push yourself too hard on it, or you stop letting yourself just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. Don't worry about keeping up. Don't worry about doing all of them if it don't appeal to you. Just look at it like a smorgasbord. Pick what you fancy. It's a great big buffet table you can take your pick from. Mix up the list, whatever you want to do. Just enjoy it. But yeah, but do share some pictures with us of whatever you do, because we always love to see what everyone's up to and be inspired by each other and support each other. That's what it's all about. Okay, I'm going to stop waffling on and go now, and I feel quite fired up and excited and ready to go. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.